Everybody who is joining us live for Unpacking What to Expect at Shades of Purple. Shout out to y'all who are joining us live on Instagram. And I'm one of your hosts, Kalon, and
I'm Dr. Nichelle Wall. Shout out to my TikTok people that are joining us on my little phone right here. We just wanted to make sure we reached out to everybody so we can have a little pre-debriefing before we get into the goodness that is going to be the Color Purple movie.
Absolutely. And really this live is just to educate you all on what is our intention behind hosting this early premiere, what makes it special, why to come out and participate in it with us instead of just waiting until Christmas, as well as kind of processing why we wanted to be intentional about sharing this space with people because of our experience over watching the first Color Purple. And I don't know about you, but it was a little intense for me. So yeah. Let's go ahead and get it up and going.
Yeah, it was a lot going on. I'm not even going to hold you.
Yeah, it was emotional. And I think I was also really young when I saw it. So I had a lot of questions. And really that questioning and that empathizing, as well as seeing some traits of myself reflected in these characters who were in such heavy situations, it stuck with me for a while. And ironically, and I know Dr. Wall will be able to explain this better than I can, it stuck with me, but I can't remember a lot of parts of The Color Purple, the original one. So it had an impact, but my brain also shut a lot of it down and shut it out. Could you talk to me why that happened?
Well, part of it, number one, is probably because you were too young to understand certain schemas and ideas and all of that good stuff that was going through the movie. But also because it's a lot of trauma in this film. And that's not, no shade to the film or anything, but, art imitates life.
Yes.
So I think for us that are going to be going back who haven't watched it throughout our lives and we're seeing it again, we're going to have to be very mindful of, what's going to be triggering us, what's going to be coming up, how we're processing things. We have lived a little life since the original one happened. It's going to be interesting to kind of see what is going to be popping off this go round.
Absolutely. And so I have a lot of different mixed feelings. But since we're talking about mixed feelings, I think I should take a moment to properly introduce who I am and what I do. And then Dr. Wall, I think you should as well. So for those who are not familiar, I am Kalon, they, she pronouns. I am an emotional intelligence consultant. So I'm going to be talking about all of my feelings because feelings is the world that I love to explore and live in. Our platform, Kalon Coaching and Consulting, helps individuals understand they are not simply enough, but in fact, they are more than. So you'll be learning a lot more about me as you hear me process out loud, not only tonight, but on December 17th when you come to the early premiere. But Dr. Wall, tell everybody who you are and what you do as well.
Well, as she eloquently said, I'm Dr. Nichelle Wall. I'm a licensed mental health professional, specifically a licensed professional counselor supervisor. And I'm also a certified sex therapist. And so my whole goal is to help communities of color. I have a large platform that I utilize to kind of get different information out to us that maybe we wouldn't have been able to get when we were younger and throughout our adult lives. So just spreading the knowledge, making sure that we are becoming healthier mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
And having heard these introductions, you see why we would want to come together so that we could talk through a film that has a lot of elements of trauma, domestic violence, sexual abuse. And with her specializing in sex therapy, and with me being someone who has had many life experiences of sexual assault, we really wanted to make sure we held a special place for people who might want to see this experience, this film, this art imitating life, but also you might be a little nervous, and maybe that's just me projecting, but I'm a little nervous.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think we're in a time period where people are being kind of charged to be a little bit more emotionally intelligent, a little bit more self-aware. So the fact that there are some individuals that are going into seeing this movie a little bit apprehensive, that's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I think a good movie going to invoke and evoke some things up out of you. So I think that's completely natural.
Yeah, and I think so too. And that's kind of why it's exciting to see it. you want to go into it curious over what it will bring out of you and what could you see differently this time because you have had so many more life experiences, right? So I know when you approached me about hosting this early premiere, and I think you reached out to me about this back in like June. You sent me the early trailer. And I thought, like, okay, as soon as you sent it to me, I was like, I need to do this. I want to partner with her on this because it makes me anxious. And that's why I was like, it makes me lightly anxious. So I'm going to do it because I want to explore in the safety of the spaces that you, Dr. Wall, create, as well as in the safety of the spaces that we create and that I create, so that we could explore this with a group of like-minded people. So when you first saw the trailer come out, what did you feel and what drew you into wanting to host this experience early?
So when I looked at the way they depicted everything in the trailer, I was like, okay, this is going to be something a little bit different. And I like the fact that you have an original person to the original movie leading the production of it, which is Oprah Winfrey. Yeah. So when I saw it, it didn't just give me like anxiety, it gave me hope, it gave me joy. Just the delivery, like the little production that they put together, it really inspired me to go watch the movie. And you know, I've seen the movie. I watched it several times.
Okay.
But I was like, okay, I know Rob loves this sort of thing. Now I didn't know if he was gonna go for it because I knew some of the schemas in it directly impact. So I was like, let me approach her and see, you know, where her mind is at with this whole joining forces thing.
Absolutely. And anytime you extend an opportunity to collaborate, I'm going to jump at it because I love you and I love doing things with you. But it was because I trust you and the way that both of us are equipped to navigate through these schemas, these situations that can be very triggering for not only the people who we're going to host, but for us too, because both of us have a background with sexual assault. And both of us have those experiences. And so thinking about that, I know that I am excited to see the movie, but I also have some light concerns because it sounds like they have merged the movie, the book, but also the play together, so that it might be a hybrid of kind of a musical kind of feel to it. And the original Color Purple, I remember it was not musically. It was heavier than that. So do you feel it was more drama, right? I think they're going to pep this one up. How do you feel about it being a little bit lighter? Do you think they can still get across the same depth and keep it lighter?
Yes, because I think we as people of color, music is just in our bones. It's in our DNA. And so it is a way that we describe the things that we have been through, and it is a way that we utilize art.
Yeah.
So I think if it is done right, it's going to add an extra element. It's going to probably invoke even more emotions because you know how you get that one good song on that one good day and you're like, oh, it got me in my feels.
Yes, you know what I mean? It's doing it for me.
Yes, I saw something recently that said, what is the song that you cry in the car to every time it comes on? And I was like, acapella, Something's Missing by Brandy. Every time.
Ooh, what's mine? Oh, what's mine? All I Have to Give by Molly Music. That'll get me.
Yes. Yes. And so when you sit up and you think about those key songs from the soundtrack of your life, imagine having that level of soundtrack on this movie, and you have so many great artists playing these different characters and having history related to some of the characters that they are playing. So I think it's gonna elevate it on up.
It is. It's gonna elevate it on up. And we did a poll yesterday on social media. What's up, everybody on Instagram? I see some people talking about it looks like a musical. I'm skeptical. We're all gonna stay open-minded though. We gonna stay open-minded. I know that we took a poll yesterday on Instagram and I asked, which character do you feel like you most relate to? And I saw you reshare it as well. So it looked like the majority of people selected Suge Avery. That's what they said. And nobody seemed to vote for Celie. And I was like, so nobody? That's what I said. I said, so nobody feeling Celie over there? But people voted mainly for Suge Avery and then also for Sophia. Those were the two that they said they related to.
Well, I think Shook Avery is seen as the spicy, free woman.
Yeah.
And she's also a little bit of a rescuer in this film. But I think a lot of times people don't realize that she got a lot of trauma in her story too.
Yes. Yes.
Because she don't have none of her babies. She got some spiritual trauma from, growing up in the church.
Yeah.
So maybe there's elements of that they relate to, but I can definitely relate to every single one of these characters in this movie.
Could you break down how you relate to maybe, let's say, Celie, Sophia, and Suge Avery? Could you break down those three?
So I think with Celie, she's probably the one that pops up the highest because for a long time I was a very quiet person. And I didn't always have my own voice to express myself. And so, not because anything had happened to me at that age, but just because I'm naturally quiet. I want to think about what I want to say before I want to say it. Yeah. I'm just a naturally chilled out person. Mm-hmm. However, that's not the best way to be for the world, because the world will chew you up and spit you out. And so I was a little soft-hearted for the world, not for myself, but for the world. I would say for Sophia, I feel like she's every misunderstood person out there. And so for some of us, we want to fight back. Yeah. We don't understand what our power is until we hit rock bottom. Mm-hmm. So I can totally relate to that. And then Suge Avery is the person, that does her best. And she has these gifts, talents, and abilities, but she also has some stuff that comes in and messes us up and distracts us. Seeking your father's love. So girl, I could go on and on.
Yes, yes. And this is why you are going to be leading our panel that will be taking place. Exactly. This is a wonderful reminder and interlude that if you have not got your tickets to Shades of Purple, the early premiere of the Color Purple 2023 version, make sure that you go ahead and click the link in our bio. I will also add it to our page right here on Instagram. But if you click the link in our bio, it's rawkalon.com/events. The tickets are $25. That comes with the premiere. That comes with the panel. And just for $10 more, you can participate in the Shades of Purple mixer that will take place afterwards, about 10 minutes from the theater, where we'll be unpacking and processing more in-depth than we'll have time to at Look Cinema. Okay? So go ahead and get your ticket. Dr. Wall will be on the panel that will be taking place at the theater, and that is included even if you don't attend the mixer. Okay?
And we got some special guests, y'all. Some people who have not told their stories before, but are very powerful orators and have great stories to tell. So it's not just going to be a one note. You know how sometimes when you go to panels and you don't have a wide variety, there's going to be a wide variety of women exemplified on that panel.
Yes, yes, yes. And so there will be representatives that are speaking for young mothers, that are speaking for those who have experienced domestic violence and domestic abuse, those who really are opening up that throat chakra and finally telling those stories that so many of us have been taught no one's going to listen to or no one's going to believe. It really is healing to get in company with people who are trusting of you and in you. And this event is not just for women. I would like to make that known as well. This event is for everybody, men, women, non-binary folks. But we invite you to come in your proud shade of purple because we are wanting to ensure that we support this message over intergenerational healing, healing through domestic violence, overcoming abuse. So no matter who you are, come out. And I'd say this is appropriate for at least 15 and up. Is the movie PG-13?
I don't know. I don't think I've seen anything anywhere about what the rating is, but I'm also not really looking.
That's
not helping y'all.
That's fair.
But I would definitely say teen and up. If you feel like you have a child who is more mature, parents use your discretion, know your babies, and you also know what you've already discussed with them. So, parents use your discretion. Don't be like parents of yesteryear and just let us watch anything.
Man, and that's exactly how my little traumatized self got in this boat, wondering like, I wasn't supposed to be seeing this, but I sure did see it. Sitting close to the TV too, close to it.
It's because it's just a good movie. I know a lot of people, they kind of worried about it, but I think everybody just go in with your mind open. Of course, the reviews are rolling in. I'm not looking at any of them.
I hear that.
I hear 5 seconds and then I'm like, okay, don't watch it.
Enough of that. Mm-hmm. I feel like other than hearing from a couple of people who got like early bird opportunity to see it, I have a little bit of insight as to what it's like, but I've told them also not to tell me too much because I want to be exposed to it with everybody who comes to the theater. I want to get emotional with everyone who comes to the theater. I want to laugh. I want to, I'll be real. For those of you who are skeptical about the musical part, I am not a musical person. While I am very colorful and vibrant, I am not a musical person. So I am excited to hear songs that I want to download on the way home. That's what I'm going to speak into existence. Something that's a little jazzy tune, get you going, about the shelter.
Yeah. Same. Now, I am a musical person. I sing, dance, play the saxophone, all that stuff. So this is right up my alley. But I still want the plot and I want it to do justice to the original. You know what I mean? If you're going to remake something, it's got to be on par with the original or better. That's how I feel. It's
got to be given. And because Oprah is involved, we're trusting that she holds fast. She knows the impact the other one made.
Yeah.
So I'm trusting she wouldn't put nothing out that wouldn't have a even greater, more positive impact as well. And I do believe that without it having to be depressing and heavy and dark, it can still be impactful and meaningful. I think I'm slightly concerned because it seems a little bright and cheery. And that's the trauma in us that says, oh, this isn't going to represent me well enough because it's not dark enough. But there's more to us than that darkness that it brought out. There's more that we can look at, and I'm trusting this will give us a new perspective.
Yeah, I definitely think it will.
Yeah.
Now, did you answer your own question a minute ago? Which character resonates with you?
But that's the thing. I don't remember enough. That's why I thought of this question when we were getting ready and logging on. I was like, I'm going to ask Nichelle which character she resonates with. And then I knew you were going to ask me, and I was like, I don't remember. I blocked out so much of it. Now, I will tell you, this is the one part that keeps coming back to me, that keeps stressing me out. Of course, it's the scene of You Show is Ugly. There's that. But there's this other scene, and I don't necessarily remember the context for it. A little girl, white outfit, I feel like, or purple, walking down a dirt road. A man's walking not too far behind from her. Mm-hmm. He starts... Okay, well then that's who I think I relate to. It's something about being preyed on. You minding your own business, you walking on your way, and then he seems so happy to pull her into the bushes. Like such a monster. That's the part that I think after that, my little brain was like, no more. We can't hold on to this.
Mm-hmm. Got you. I mean, I can see her story overlapping with your story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So even though I feel like I need to, and I do plan, you mentioned already that you watch it pretty frequently. You've seen The Color Purple a couple of times. Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to watch the first one some point before December 17th. And just so that I can really properly compare and contrast. Or do you think I should see the new one and then go back and watch the first one?
No, I think you should watch the original one first, just so you have that foundation. Because we know that they probably can expound on certain things, but there may be things that are left out.
Yes.
It's not the same as the original going from book to movie. You know what I mean? So this is like just a remake. So I would say go ahead and do the film first, the original film.
Okay. Well, y'all who are tuning in, please don't hesitate to drop. Okay, I also see people responding, Nettie and Mister. So that was exactly who it was. I remember the names now that it said to me. It gets me all shook up every time. So if y'all are going to go back and watch the original before coming out on the 17th, because I'm trusting that since you're tuning in, you're coming out on the 17th, clearly. Let us know, and let us know your impressions. There is a event on Facebook, so go in and type your impressions in the event group, share your thoughts. We'll get back with you. We want to keep an open dialogue about this because we're only 10 days away. We're doing this live on the 7th. The event is on the 17th. For those who just want to wait till Christmas, you can. But you will be missing out on goodie bags, getting to walk the purple carpet in your stunning purple, however you choose to represent yourself. We're going to be setting intentions and asking the audience to kind of reflect on which characters from the original Color Purple do they feel like they resonate with. Similar to how we took a poll online, we want to feel the temperature of the room of everyone who's going to be watching it, right? Then we're going to see the premiere of The Color Purple, and then we're going to have about a 30-minute panel Q&A at the end before we go back to my home, the Sanctuary, for a nice cozy mixer so that you can network. Because if you are watching this movie with other people who have a heart to be intentional about it, they might have businesses, they might have opportunities that you could build off of, that you can build community around, and why not? So,
yeah, and you know, something that I pulled from the last time that you did a like a communal watching of a movie, which was
The Woman King.
The Woman King. I was gonna get at 17 other names. The Woman King. It was so much more impactful because you had an entire audience full of people that came there for a specific reason.
Yep.
You know, the activities before and after, the coming together, all of us dressed in African garb. So it's like having this shared experience together. It like takes it up a notch too. So I definitely wanted to implement like that community-based feeling that I got when I watched the other movie.
Yeah, yes, and that's exactly what we're doing. This isn't a Sacred Spaces event. Shout out to Essence Monet, my partner in crime with Sacred Spaces. But this is an event that is going to be a sacred space, just because of the power that art has to impact us. And we want to make sure that as we are about to see this film and then move into a new year, it's not that we're trying to become new us's. We just want to become more of ourselves. And that might mean that you're going into a season where you're shedding more than you're putting on. And so in this film, hopefully there's an opportunity to reflect on who you were when you first saw it and how you've evolved and changed since seeing this new version of it as well. And then really deciding what kind of messages do you want to perpetuate and talk more about in 2024 with other young women who might have questions once they see the original Color Purple.
Yeah. I think this is going to hit a lot of people. I don't think we've really had a movie like this in a while. I'm really trying to think of like what movies have had this type of impact, and the only movie that comes to mind is For Color Girls.
Yep.
And that is a movie that I have only watched the one time that I went to the movie theater to watch it, because now that one, it did mess me up, and I was like, no, I probably shouldn't watch this one again until I process some other things. And then an older movie, The Women of Brewster Place, which came out around the same time that The Color Purple came out. So
yeah, I've never heard of The Women of Brewster Place, but if that's something you would recommend, probably something that I watch with you, because if it impacted you, then I probably don't want to watch it by myself. Okay? Yes. And
I need my emotional support.
I need my emotional support. Human, yes, this is exactly why we do these things together. But I do remember For Color Girls having a very similar impact. I think the reason why I was able to work through it is because I was also in the play. So I got to get so immersed in the character. I was Lady in Purple. Ironic. We're doing Shades of Purple. I was Lady in Purple. Full circle. But I feel like being able to be immersed in it and to cry through so much of our practices and our rehearsals, by the end of it, I was like, I can watch the movie or watch the play. I'm okay. I've been able to move through it. But it sounds like For Color Girls had the same impact on you that The Color Purple had on me.
Yeah. We just had a comment come through. Dominique Green, my cousin, she said The Women of Brewster Place is a classic. Okay. So obviously a must see. So if y'all also have other recommendations of, hey girl, if y'all have other recommendations of movies that have impacted you in a similar way, movies that it's like, okay, I have to kind of make sure I'm not holding my breath through it, that I have like my weighted blanket, get you a Be Still blanket while you watch these things. There's only 9 left, so order yours now. If you need you I know. I really got to stop cutting up. But I'm just saying, if there are recommendations for movies like that you think, okay, this is something that art is imitating life and we have an opportunity to gain some real gems to apply towards ourselves, please
Join the Facebook event group. Put your comments, your suggestions. If you go back and watch the original Color Purple, put your comments and your reflections. And then when you're done, actually before you do all of that, go click the link in our bio and get your ticket to December 17th.
Yes.
$25, $35 if you want to come to the mixer after. There's a goodie bag that will come. We'll get you the purple carpet that you get to walk down. Luscious Barbie will be in the building doing interviews so that you can give your feedback, so that you can say whether you being skeptical was a successful way to be or not. And then we'll also be doing an excellent Q&A panel, which I think will be just as powerful as the film itself. So I am so excited that we're hosting this. Any final words for the people, Dr. Wall?
No, I'm excited. Like, I love doing things like this, and that gets the community together. And it's a way for me to utilize like my skills as a therapist and a doctor without having to, as like people be saying, wrong and incorrectly therapize people.
Exactly.
I don't got to do that. I just get to come and volunteer me and enjoy just the energy that everybody's bringing to that situation. So I'm going to really enjoy doing this.
Me too, absolutely. Well, we are excited to hold this space for you all, and we are excited to see what you think of the experience right along with us. And with that, go to rockkalon.com/events and get your ticket. You can also find the event on Eventbrite. The event is called Shades of Purple, where we will be doing an early premiere of the 2023 Color Purple. All right. See y'all there.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.